First one, all of you listen. Next is also the movement of charge in magnetic field. In a magnetic field, the movement of charge in a magnetic field in different cases. We are going to discuss different cases of movement of charges. Okay, let's discuss each one. First one, how do we make different cases in the sense? How do we differentiate them? What is the criterion? So the criterion is very simple. First one, if theta 0 less than theta less than 90 degree. Which means, what is theta? The angle between velocity vector and magnetic field vector, and that is what is theta. You got me? So if this theta is 0 less than theta less than 90 degree, in between 90, like open interval 0 and 90. Okay, 0 and 90 degree. So in this case, what will happen? So that we will discuss. Second one, if theta is equal to 0 degree or theta is equal to 180 degree, which means in like parallel to the magnetic field or anti-parallel to the magnetic field. In this case, what will happen? So in this case, what will happen? So that we will discuss. This is like an some extra portion. I will discuss that. One second. So this one is, look at this. If theta is equal to 0 or 180 degree, that is magnetic field is in this direction. Magnetic field is in this direction, and charge is also moving in the direction or in the opposite direction. Then theta is equal to 90 degree. Mathematically, I can say that f is equal to 0. Why? Sin theta is equal to sin 0, 0. Sin 180, 0. So mathematically, this is equal to 0. So you got it. So there will not be any force acting on that particular charge if it is moving, if it moves in parallel or anti-parallel to the magnetic field. Next one, third one. This is what is very important for us. So that is, if theta is equal to 90 degree or pi by 2. Theta is equal to 90 or pi by 2. So in that case, it moves. Look at this. There is a magnetic field here, uniform magnetic field. So in 90 degree, it is coming 90 degree. That is, V is equal to 90 degree. V is in this direction. Then it will move in a circle. Keep in your mind, this is very important. So it will move in a circle. One thing I can say that, listen, all of you listen. Here the force value F is equal to QVB. I mean only magnitude. Okay. QVB sin 90, 1. So F is equal to QVB. This is nothing but the maximum Lorentz force. This is nothing but the maximum Lorentz force. So that is why this could be a circle. It would be a circle, that is a proper circle. And also, you know that what is the force which is responsible for a body to move in a circular path? That is known as centripetal force, mv square by r, which is equal to qvb. I think you have got the idea. This is just a beautiful idea. You can use it many places. Many places in the sense, not only this chapter or electrostatics or somewhere else. If a body is moving with a constant force is acting on a body, and which is changing, the magnitude, okay, and it moves in a circle, then you can equate that force, the force which is responsible for the motion is as centripetal force. So mv square by r is equal to that particular force. Then you can solve many problems. So in new pattern problems can ask in NEET exam and all, or in JEE and all. So new pattern problems could be, you have to find out the formula, and there will not be a particular formula for that. You have to find out the formula by using the cases, by using the situation, the scenario, right? So this is what is the case here. mv square by r is equal to qvb. Now we can solve many things from this. Look at this. V got cancelled, 1 VV. So I can say that the R, what is R? The radius of the circle. The radius of the circle is nothing but radius is equal to QB divided by, mv divided by qb. Radius is equal to mv divided by qb. Okay, and next is what is the time period, and also what is mv? Mv is nothing but t, momentum divided by qb. Mv, mass into velocity, is momentum. And again, with I can also write it as what is t, time period. Time period is nothing but 2 pi r divided by v, velocity. Because velocity is equal to 2 pi r divided by v. So t is equal to 2 pi r divided by v. So I can write it as 2 pi into what is r? Mv divided by qb, all divided by v. So which is nothing but 2 pi m divided by qb. You got me? Okay, so this is what is the first thing. And now also, what is omega? Omega is equal to 2 pi by t. Omega is equal to 2 pi by t. You can substitute the value of 2 pi by t. So you will get that value. Okay, so this is what is the like different cases. And this frequency, look at this. This is t, right? This is omega. What is mu? Mu is equal to 2 pi, like I can say that 1 by t. So what is 1 by t? qb divided by 2 pi m. So mu is equal to this equations we will discuss again. I'll tell you why. This is equal to mu is equal to frequency is equal to 1 by t. So which is equal to qb. 2 pi m by qb will be qb by 2 pi m. So this frequency is known as cyclotron frequency. This is known as cyclotron frequency, and the device cyclotron we will discuss in detail. So where we have to learn this again. So don't worry, you can find out everything from this equation. This is our major equation. This is our fundamental in this particular thing. And let's coming back to this one. Okay, this one we will discuss again in the case of cyclotron. Okay, coming back to this one. All of you listen. So theta less than 0 less than theta less than 90 degree. In this case, it will move as, look at this, this is a magnetic field. It will move as a helical shape. Okay, it will move in a helical shape. So this is very important. It will move in a helical shape. So in this case, like theta is equal to theta less than 90 degree, or theta greater than 0 and less than 90. And in this case, one important thing you have to learn, and in neat aspect you will study more things, and we'll explain that later. And in this case, only thing you have to take care, that is the pitch of the helix. Pitch means what? So this much is a pitch. Okay, the pitch of the helix, that is one complete cycle. Like let's consider the cycle. We cannot call it as a parallel cycle, which means it is going like this, right? You know what is helix, right? So when you take a spring and when you try to move it, so you will see that there will be a shape like that. That is what is helix. Okay, the helical shape. You must have learned DNA structure and all, right? The helical, double helical, something like that. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. I mean, I have heard that. Okay, pitch of the helix. Pitch of the helix is equal to T into V cos theta. T into V cos theta. What is T? Time period. V cos theta. So time period is this one only. You can substitute this value 2 pi m divided by qb into V cos theta. So which is equal to 2 pi m by qb into V cos theta. Okay. So this is what is pitch of the helix. That is an important point in that. And these are the basic things about Lorentz force and all, and the applications of Lorentz force we have discussed. And I think you have got all those things, and if you got any doubts, you ask me. Okay, thank you.